Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and I run the blog lifefromtheviolasection.com where I share my favorite practice tips, general advice, and tech for musicians. So I'm a private music teacher. I teach viola, violin, and piano lessons, and lately I've been looking for a new way to send invoices and have a general kind of studio management website a little bit different from what I was currently doing. So in the past I've been using Honeybook for all of that, for signing policies online and for sending out monthly invoices, but there have been a few things that I haven't really been happy with, and the price is just a little bit too much for me to stomach every month. So I wanted to look into other options, and I decided on my music staff, which I used for my new August invoices, and I've just kind of been getting to know it the past couple weeks. So I wanted to share what my past workflow was like before I disabled my Honeybook account and show you what I'm doing now, what I've been looking for, what has and hasn't worked for me, just to help you if you are looking for something similar. So let's dive right into Honeybook first, and I'll show you what I did every month and a little bit about my thoughts, good and bad. So Honeybook is a general kind of client management website where you can have different projects, send invoices to those, and send over contracts and kind of schedule things and all of that. So I'll create a new project, which is what I do for each student, and kind of show you what my process has been like. So I put in their name, I put in what type of thing they're interested in, and I can put like how they heard about me, which is helpful just for me to know what I should focus or maybe not focus on. I don't add in any dates or times. This is like if you're a wedding photographer and you know that their wedding is this specific date and that's when the project will, mainly happen on or something. So then I press create project. And you do have to add a client to this. You cannot make a project without one. So I will add just myself, honestly. So I just added myself just to show you an example. And now you can see activity, emails that you've had back and forth, files that you've sent to each other, payments, notes, anything that you might write. I've never used it, and details. So you can send and receive emails through Honeybook. It's really just if you send an invoice or a contract or something, that is sent through your email address, and then you can see kind of that thread through Honeybook. You can't see just random emails that you send to that person back and forth. That would be pretty cool, but it's not a feature here. So let's say that they have just taken a trial lesson and they want to sign up for lessons. So I create this, and then I'm going to send them my policies. So I go over to contract, and you can have lots of different templates. So I have 2023 to 2024 lesson policies, which I will update soon for the upcoming school year. But I just click on that, and then it shows this signable version of the policies that they will be able to see. So I'm going to keep some of this private, but you can see that there are spots where they can initial, and you can change this so that it's like a different sort of content field. So whatever data that you want, you can add that in there and then have them write about it. And then at the bottom, I have like a little contact information form, and then the actual signatures are required. So that is how I get all of my students to sign their policies. Even if they're an in-person student, I still just get it there because then I have it saved somewhere and it feels more official to me. I do love this aspect of Honeybook, and spoiler alert, there's no way to do this sort of thing on my music staff that I found so far, so I am kind of looking for a replacement for this in particular still. But the contract portion of it has worked really, really well for me. Now to send an invoice, I do the same thing. I go to create file, but this time I go down to invoice, and you can see there are other types of files that you can send: proposals, questionnaire, services, just kind of like a little portfolio pamphlet kind of thing. You can schedule things or just make your own thing, whatever your needs are. But I'm going to go to invoices, and then I have all of these different templates for different types and lengths of lessons that I teach because some of them have different prices. Today I'll keep it easy with the 4-week 60-minute violin invoice. On the front page I have a studio class sign up. So if you want to go to studio class that month you can, but I don't have one this month, so I'm just going to take that out. And then it gives you what the invoice is essentially going to look like, and you can edit it. So each of these lessons I put as different service items, how many there are, the price, and then the total throughout. So what I do is in the description, I write when this lesson is going to be. 5 p.m. That's fine. And then I write, okay, the next one is going to be next Tuesday at 5 p.m. And on like that. So it shows you the total at the bottom, and you can set your due date here. I know we're already past August 1st, but if I was sending this out towards the end of July, it'd be August 1st. And you can see that it's overdue or due in 5 days or 6 days, however long it is until then. So this is how I've been doing my invoices, and it looks good. Everyone can pay just online, and I'll show you that now with the preview. This is what it looks like. There we go. So then this is what the payment process looked like. The amount due, and then Apple Pay or add in your card information. You can also do a bank transfer instead and add that in. So these invoices have worked really well for me, and it's been nice and everything, but it is so time consuming to go through each student, say, okay, they do 45-minute lessons, so I'll do that template. Okay, they're gonna have 3 lessons this month. I need to take one out. Oh, they have 5 lessons in a month this time. So I need to add in another one. Okay, what days are they having lessons? Oh, I forgot, they're doing a Wednesday this time instead, so I have to write that in. And then I have to do that for every single student. And it takes usually about 5 minutes per student. So if I have 20 students, it takes me like an hour and a half or so. It's my least favorite part of the month and one of my least favorite aspects of the job, basically. So I was looking for a way to streamline that and make it go a lot faster, because I've always wanted to say, like, okay, I have everything on my calendar. Can I just send it out and then just automatically generate an invoice? And you'll see that that is something that I can basically do in my music staff, which is great. So let me think of what else you might want to see in Honeybook. You can change the stage. I don't use this very much because it's not super helpful for me, because I'm really here just once a month making invoices. So you can set it as current student, or I have some set as former students so that I don't get them in the list, they don't clog everything up. You can also add tags, but I've never made any. You can do a time tracker here, which I do use for some of my freelance writing, and I will have to just find a different place to do that starting this month. You can add tasks, which I've never done because I just use paper to-do lists, and you can automate things a little bit. So I know that Honeybook has really powerful automations, but I've never really had the time to just sit down and figure it out. And I don't think that they quite have the automations that I specifically am looking for. So Honeybook has served me well the past 2 or 3 years or so, but it is $39 a month. I'm either the bottom tier or the middle one for my subscription. I believe there are 3 tiers. Okay, update on which Honeybook plan I've been using. I actually have a legacy plan, which is unlimited monthly. So this used to be the highest plan that they offered. It says all features, no limits, unlimited support, unlimited team members. So it was basically everything for $39 a month. So now you can see what they offer now. That would be the same price as the Essentials plan, which is not unlimited everything. So you can see that you get a little bit less for the same price now. And that's just a lot of money, and I'm spending more time than I want. So I went through a couple of different sort of invoicing software websites and looked at what they offer. And I thought about my music staff because I've seen other people promote them and I've seen them around, but I never tried it before just because I had Honeybook and I liked it. And I thought that my music staff would be more like showing assignments and stuff for students on the website than like invoicing and stuff. So they're only $15 or $15.99 a month with a free month trial. So I'm currently on the free month trial, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you what that looks like now. So this is my homepage on my music staff. You can see how many teaching events I've got, how many payments I've received, the projected revenue for the month, and how many students I currently have on the site right now. Then below it shows me my events for today. I'm only teaching 1 lesson today, 5 to 5:30, and you can see where it's at, which is online, and this is the Zoom link right here, which is super handy. I personally don't need that, but once I get my students integrated on here, they can sign up for those calendar events too, and the Zoom link is going to be right in the calendar event, which will be so helpful for them. Then it also shows the instrument and the student that I'm teaching that. So over here, I've got all of my students. It has the student's name, if they have an email address that they've given me, their family members' information, who teaches them, because this can be used by like multi-teacher organizations, when their next lesson is, if they have any makeup credits, their age if I've put that in, and how long they've been working with me if I've added that in. So this is very helpful, just like my Google Sheet with all this information is very helpful too. But we will take a look at test student, which I made just as myself so that I could kind of practice what some emails looked like, what invoices looked like from the student's end, and all of that. So I think I did set this test student as a kid because you can have kid students and you can have adult students. So the kid students have an adult contact. The adult students just, that is the contact. So I can put this student as the preferred invoice recipient. So if you have multiple family members' information that goes along with one student, you can choose who gets the invoices. Unfortunately, you cannot send the invoices automatically to more than one person, which I would like. It can be helpful for some families, but for now I can either forward or have them forward it on to the other people. You can also send the students lesson reminders or even text reminders too, which I'm excited to start kind of marketing that for students, especially ones who are more prone to forget their lessons. So with my music staff, you can create a student portal, which I have not set up yet. I'm trying to get by with the invoices and then explore the other options too. But you can have them fill out a practice log on the site. You can also see what their attendance was like, how many lessons they've had. I can assign the students repertoire if I want. You can like add repertoire to the site and then assign it to different students. You can see if you've sent any messages back and forth from the site, kind of like Honeybook. And you can see if you've set up student access for the portal, which will be helpful for me very soon. Well, I'll try not to dwell too much on that in this video today. I'll try to keep it mostly invoices. So let's take a look at families and invoices. So this shows the different families that I have, and these are the family members. Sorry, I know a lot of it is gonna kind of be blurred, but the green numbers are things that they've paid or what their balance is if it's 0. And the red is any balance that has not been paid yet. So through this, let me find my test student. You can go to a family and see when their next invoice will be created if you have automatic invoices set up, which I do. Very, very helpful. And all of this, but I can also just create an invoice here. So if you want to create an invoice from your calendar, you want to make sure that you have calendar events for this student. So what I do is I go to quick add lesson, just easiest thing. Test student, let's say they're in person. We'll do Fridays at 5, fine. And then let's say they do weekly lessons. And then I put it as private. I don't know which one is best yet. If they are using a makeup credit, like if you're just rescheduling a lesson, then you check this box. Don't check it if it's just a regular lesson. I was very confused by that at first, but the makeup credit, this means that it uses a makeup credit, not that if the student misses this lesson, they get one. It's if they are using one for this. So then you save that. And now the student has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lessons for the month. Now we will go back to family and invoices, go back to that test student. So now that we're on the test student page, you can see all of the days that they have lessons, the time, and how much it's going to be with the balance adding up and up and up. So you can go over to invoices now, and I'm going to create an invoice. So I do invoices monthly. So let's say we're doing August invoices, which already happened. I will make those invoices right around July 23rd and send those out, and they are due August 1st. So this is going to be a little bit different than my usual workflow. Let's just say it already knows my usual workflow. So let's do it as if it's for September lessons. So we'll send it out August 23rd like I usually do, and it will be for September 1st through the 30th. And since I put weekly lessons on the calendar, it'll already show September lessons just every single week. So then if they have any overdue balances, you can include that in the invoice, or you can only do that. I'm gonna only do that just so that it looks a little bit cleaner for you guys. Then you can choose a due date. I always do, and that's gonna be September 1st. Oh, sorry, change the month first. That'll be September 1st. Usually if it's a Sunday, I just make it the next business day, and I know this is Labor Day, so I guess we'll do the 3rd. Okay. I do expanded invoices just so that everyone can see absolutely everything. I haven't tested any other options yet though. And then I usually create but don't email. Otherwise it just sends them out and I can't like double check them. So now let's press create. It always says this can take a while, but I find that it's really fast. And now we can download it and take a look at it. All right, so I don't think that these invoices are quite as pretty as the Honeybook ones, but they get the job done, it's fine. So you can see the dates that the lessons are, the time, the length of the lesson, where the lesson is at, the name of the student. This is helpful if you have families with multiple siblings taking lessons. So it'll say like, Kayla has a lesson, and then Marie, and then Kayla has this lesson, and then Marie has this lesson, something like that. And then you can see how much each lesson is, and then the total down here. So then you click to pay, and then you get this payment page, very similar to Honeybook, where you can choose a card, Apple Pay, or a bank account, put in your information, and then actually pay it. So what is helpful is that I can do auto invoicing, which just takes a look at my calendar starting the beginning of a month for upcoming lessons, because everyone's lessons are prepaid. I do not collect payment after a lesson. That is, please, if you're just starting teaching, don't take payments after lessons. Do it all prepaid or people will take advantage of you. Okay, and I do this every month on the first day. Oops. And then I just choose the date so that I want it to be created, which is the 23rd, which is in my policies, and then the due date is always on the 1st. Okay. Then expanded. This looks very similar to like creating an invoice, but these are just my automatic invoicing settings. If anyone had any leftover balances, that'll be added. If something is free, like a makeup credit or something, I add that on there anyway, just so that everyone knows when their lessons are. And then automatically send them on the invoice date. I might not check this just because I do like to double check that everything is correct. Okay, those are my settings, and it will create an invoice just like what I made by itself on that day, and it can just email it straight out, which is so helpful. It's gonna save me so much time. So the only thing with this site is that there's no way to really do contracts online through their site. I think their answer on their kind of support site is just to have a form on your website that they fill out. But I like to have all of my policies written out, initial, like policy section about makeup lessons, initial that, policies about recitals, initial that, and all of that, so that I know that they're reading each and every section and that they know what the deal is for everything. So I'm gonna look into maybe just editing my policies PDF to put in like little signable spots, because I think that most computers, phones, PDF readers have like ways to like initial something if there's a box for it. So I'm gonna see if there's a way that I can just kind of do that on my computer without downloading anything or subscribing to anything else, because I really don't want to subscribe to anything else. It's so annoying. So for online payments, you can add Stripe or PayPal, or possibly both. I'm not really sure. I used Stripe. It was really easy to set up, and they do have a fixed card fee. I forget what the actual percent is, but I've noticed that it's a couple cents to maybe $1 cheaper than Honeybook's credit, or at least card processing fee on there. So it's saving me a little bit of money that way, but there is still a little bit of a fee for using card transactions, which I'm prepared for, whatever. And over here you can add some settings about the student portal, but I will be looking into that very soon, and I can always make another video on that. So now monthly, instead of sitting down and creating each invoice individually, my workflow is kind of just around like the 16th or so of the month, I send out an email saying, hey, please send me any conflicts that your students have with lessons for the upcoming month by the 21st, so that I can make a note of it on my calendar so that you won't be charged. Otherwise, then once they do that, then once I hear back from parents, I edit my calendar however I need, and I do need to edit my calendar on here. So let me show you that. So here's the calendar. And let's say that I am not going to have a lesson this day. So I just delete this. And if you're doing this last minute, you can send out notifications for deleting that lesson. Now I've got that. Now when it makes the invoice, it knows lesson on the 2nd, 16th, 23rd, and 30th, nothing on the 9th. I don't have to do anything else because I was going to edit my calendar anyway. I cannot, however, edit it on my phone or Google Calendar and expect it to be changed over here. So I do have this integrated with my phone calendar and Google Calendar, but it's a one-way integration where you can view the events on those other platforms, but you cannot change them on there. So when I want to edit when lessons are, I do have to go here, but it's easy enough to go onto the site. They do not have an app, but I did add a shortcut on my home screen where you just go to the website in Safari, and then I think it's like the little upload button, and you choose like make a shortcut or make an app or something. It shows up right on your phone, so you tap the app and it just takes you to the browser to that homepage. So that's easy enough for me. I edit the event, it auto creates the invoice, and then I check it before I actually email it out. And then I can actually edit the email a little bit where I can say, hi, your student is doing great. Here's when your lessons are this month. Please pay by this date. And then it's all good. So I think that this is a lot easier now. There are still some things that I'm kind of looking into and figuring out, but overall I'm really happy with it, and I'm very thankful that it'll save me some money. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to look into things, figure it out, share more of what my process is like. And if you do anything different on my music stuff or any other websites, please share down below so that you can help me out and also help others. Also, this morning I woke up to 2,000 subscribers, so thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed. If you like this video, please consider subscribing so that you can join the community. Thank you for watching today's video, and let me know if you have any questions. I will see you in 2 weeks, hopefully, with a new video. Thanks for watching.